Chicago city leaders are also trying to tackle another challenge right now, struggling to keep young people from gathering in large groups. Groups like this one, seen in a video of an apparent house party, reportedly on the west side of Chicago. Hundreds of people packed into one room. It surfaced on social media. Now police are trying to crack down. I want to bring back NBC's Shaquille Brewster. He is in Chicago. Shaq, what's being done to prevent more nonsense like that?
And Craig, there's been other situations of this. Apparently this weekend, the police had to break up a wedding party. The mayor has talked about having to break up gatherings herself. What you're hearing from officials is that these stay-at-home orders are largely self-enforced. So they're not going to be issuing citations or arrests or going to be arresting people to help implement these orders. But what you're seeing is an effort to shame people who do this as much as possible. You saw that and heard that with the governor this weekend, who said that people who participating in gatherings like this are not only threatening the health and safety of their friends and family, but they're betraying their trust. You heard from Chicago's mayor, who, look at this tweet that she said. She said, the recklessness in actions like these threaten our public health and risk erasing the progress we have made. And it's that progress that is so fragile, Craig. Chicago is definitely the epicenter of this state's coronavirus crisis. Most of the cases and deaths associated with the virus happen here in Chicago's Cook County. And you're seeing efforts and progress being made at least slowing the rise and increase of this virus. An alternate care facility in McCormick Place, a big convention center in Chicago, has been reduced from being able to hold 3,000 people to just about 1,000 people. You're seeing the mayor and city leaders partner with community organizations trying to educate and step up efforts to educate citizens on efforts to stop the spread of this virus. Despite that, despite the efforts from community leaders, from state leaders, you're seeing still among local people in their private homes and private dwellings, there's still some work to be done to stop the spread and at least get people to take this virus and this crisis seriously. Craig?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.